let's go ahead and look at some sum and difference pattern here. So remember, the sum and difference pattern came from this, right? When we have basically this pattern where we have a plus b and a minus b, okay? And so if we were to FOIL this, remember, we'll get first times first will give us a squared, okay? The outsides will give us minus ba, the insides will give us plus ba, and the last times last will give us a negative b squared. Right, so really when we add those up, this drops out and we get a squared minus b squared. Okay, so when we look at this particular product, 5t minus 2 times 5t plus 2. Okay, really what we can do is we can call this our a. Right, 5t is like our a here. Okay, and 2 is our b. Right, and if we, sorry, I'm going to get those 2's in a different color here. 2's are going to be our b, right? So 2 and 2, all right? And so if we take this a and square it and then subtract the b and then square it, that's really our pattern, right? So what I'm going to do is just take 5t and I'm going to square it, okay? And then I'm going to subtract our b term, which is 2, and then square that as well. Okay, well 5t squared, I know that it's the same as 5 squared times t squared. Okay, and then, well, I think our 2 there is 2 squared is pretty self-explanatory, but for now I guess I'll just write it as 2 squared. Okay, and then finally we'll get 25t squared minus 4. Okay, and this is actually just going to be our final answer here. Right, so pretty straightforward when we can identify a and b, and we notice that we have the sum and difference pattern. Okay, something you can always do is just check with FOIL, right? So just check and make sure you're right. 5t times 5t is going to give you 25t squared. The outsides here will give us a positive 10t. The insides will give us a negative 10t. And last times last will give us a negative 4. When we add up the middle terms there, they're just going to cancel out, so we end up with 25t squared minus 4. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, well, if we can just FOIL this, why do we have to learn it? Okay, and the answer is because it's going to help us later when we do this stuff backwards. Okay, we're going to actually know this forwards and backwards, literally. Okay, and so it's just going to help there, I promise. So let's check out one more quick example. Okay, we'll even derive the pattern one more time. Okay, so I'm going to say we have a plus b times a minus b, and if we FOIL this, we're going to end up with a squared minus ba plus ba minus b squared, right? And we know that the middle terms there are going to cancel out, or as I like to say, the OI drops out of FOIL, and a squared minus b squared is going to be what we have left. So in this particular case, our a term, let's call that 3b, okay? And our b term, we're just going to call it 5, okay? And so if I write this out, I'm going to write this now as our a term, which is 3b, and I'm going to square that a term, and I'm going to subtract the b term and square it, so minus 5 squared, okay? The 3b squared, this is the same as 3 squared b squared, okay? And the 5 squared, obviously, is just 5 squared, which we all know is 25, but we'll just wait a second. Okay, and now we'll evaluate all of these exponents here. Okay, so this is going to be 9b squared minus 25. Okay, so pretty simple concepts here. Really simple math. Okay, again, if you end up memorizing the formula here for the sum and the difference, that's great. Okay, but you can always derive it if you forget it. That's the beauty of it. Okay, and obviously we can always check our work here too. So I'll go ahead and we'll check our work in blue. We'll just go ahead and FOIL this. First times first, I'll get 9b squared. Okay, the outsides here, I'll get a positive 15b. For the insides here, I'll get a negative 15b. And last times last here, I'll get a negative 25. And so I know that these drop out. So my final answer is 9b squared minus 25. Okay, I hope these examples were helpful. Okay, and we'll now check out the other patterns.